Yes, yes, yes. Hello. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Flixters, the place where two movie geeks bring you all the movie reviews and news you can ever want in your life. Yes, download our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Castbox and Anchor. That's correct. We made it to Google Play. Also follow us on Insta, Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. We will see you there.
Duval.
Yes, Amar.
How are you this wonderful Sunday afternoon?
This Sunday afternoon is wonderful because I am with you.
Oh, yeah, baby. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for downloading another episode of The Flixters. And it's your hosts, Amar and Duval, here hitting up movie news, film reviews, anniversary corner, hidden gems, you name it. We've got it for you. So, sit tight, relax, and we hope you enjoy it. So, Duvaldo, another week of The Flixters. This is episode number
17.
Sweet.
Woo.
Sweet and spicy 17.
It is. It's episode 17 or E17. Stay now.
Stay now.
Baby, if you got to go.
What was that other? They had another big one. E17. Yeah, what was their other? You know
I don't know, man. The one when they were those puffer coats, the white puffer coats. Isn't that it? Stay now. Was that?
No, that was there was another kind of big tune that they.
Is it?
No, unbelievable. No, unbelievable wasn't.
I
them,
don't
was
know,
it?
man. I don't know. I didn't have that poster on my wall like you.
He's got me. He got me. All right. No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant being here again, Deval, and we've got so much stuff going on, right?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
But listen, just quickly, just before we start the whole show. You know, you were mentioned about, us being on Google Play. I just wanted to mention we've been downloaded 1 million times.
Is it 1 million now?
1 million.
What? A milli. That's an achievement. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your support.
You know what? We couldn't have done it without you, ladies and gentlemen. So just keep downloading us. Help us get to the next 1 million.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay, that's all just bullshit, by the way. I think like 10 downloads I think we had on the last episode. But anyway.
5 me, 5 you.
Yeah, exactly. But thanks anyway. All right, so... Listen, you know what? When I read this piece of news, this made me laugh because it just kind of like, when I just think about this, Captain Britain.
Do you know what? Captain Britain exists.
Yes, yeah. I know. There's a comic book, Captain Britain. And now, hang on a second. This isn't the whole Orlando Bloom thing, is there? This
Orlando Bloom? What do you mean?
He was on some talk show or he was on some Comic-Con thing or something, and he turned around and he said he would love to be Captain Britain.
It's not going to be him.
It's not going to be him though, is it? No, come on.
He's past that. I think the way Marvel is now, Marvel try and cast, no disrespect to him, but like slightly younger actors. If they're going to start a franchise, they need to be young enough to sort of carry it through.
Yeah.
To 1, 2, part 3 and
he's older than us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's older than us. So he's Legolas, man. Come on now. He's shooting arrows. You can't be no Captain Britain.
Exactly. All right. So this is brilliant. It's really interesting news though. So Marvel are casting for Captain Britain.
Yeah.
And
the Dark Knight. It's not Dark Knight Batman. It's Dark Knight. Like it's Captain Britain's buddy.
Oh right. So it's going to be like a sidekick. It's
going to be a brother, obviously.
Yeah. Dark Knight. Yeah.
So probably Idris can get that one. I'm joking.
Let him get something now.
But no. So what happened was that the reason why this actually came out, I don't know if it got leaked out or just got sort of came out basically, but Marvel or any film studio have to book space in studios and stuff like that, whether for sound design or studio time to film. And it was found out that Marvel booked studio time in, I think it was at Pinewood Studios.
Right.
I think it's Pinewood Studios or Shepperton, one of them. But it was found out that Marvel booked studio time to film Captain Britain.
Oh.
So this is going to be, I think, late next year. So whether it happens or not, they've booked the time to possibly do it.
Yeah.
So these things happen all the time. Sometimes they don't happen. Like remember with Inhumans was supposed to happen.
That was going to be a phase 4 film, right?
Exactly. Didn't happen. So this could happen, could not. And so we'll have to watch this space. But Captain Britain is basically similar to Captain America. He gets his powers a slightly different way, but it's kind of like the same kind of guy. Has slightly different powers.
Okay.
I think he can fly, Captain Britain. But yeah, it's just British version of Captain America. But there's too many caps.
I know.
Captain America, Captain Marvel, and Captain Britain as well.
I mean, it's got to be some. I mean, I'm just trying to think like who. All right, if you had the choice, right, who would you have play Captain Britain?
If I could have the choice, I would. Do you know who I'll choose? I would choose a guy that was in what's his name, Edgerton. He was in what's it called? Do you know what it was called? The secret people, the spy people with Kingsman. Kingsman.
Yeah, and he's going to be the new Robin Hood. Yeah.
Someone like him who's young enough, got a good following, good actor. He's believable,
and he's been part of big films now.
Yeah.
So the whole Kingsman films, they're kind of like pretty big films, and Robin Hood's going to be a big film. Yeah. So totally good shout.
Either him or someone on the total flip side. You know the guy? I think he's from Bristol, but he was in Meet the Millers. He was in Detroit. He seems a bit kind of goofy, but he's a good actor. He's a good actor.
He really is, and he won an award for the best upcoming.
Is it? I'm not surprised. Yeah, but he's a good actor. But if they put a more comedic spin on Captain Britain, he could buff up. He could do it.
Yeah, of course, definitely. Yeah. So, what about the guy who did? Have you seen this film called 71 and starred up?
Oh. Yeah, no, yeah. He's
I can't remember what his name is, but I thought he was good.
He's good. Yeah. Right. Good shout actually. Starred up. Yeah.
All right. So keeping it with Marvel, Avengers 4 is currently reshooting, and you've seen and I've seen pictures of this. Captain America, Black Widow, wearing old look costumes.
Yeah. So it's the old the sort of Phase 1, like Avengers, Captain America 1 type costume. So. The more bright sort of costumes they've got. Also the hairstyle. Cap hasn't got his beard.
Black Widow. And this plays into the whole time travel theory, right?
Yeah. And also Ant-Man's been seen on set, but we've seen a bit more footage of them in this scenario. So we see Black Widow, her looking old school. We see Hawkeye in his Ronin sort of uniform. He's got like a slightly longer coat. He's got some like a dark sort of these dark glasses and sort of helmet type thing. And his Ronin character in the comics is a bit more of a darker character, and he has sort of conflicts with the Yakuza in the comics. So there's some rumors that Hawkeye, in the sort of the reason why he's not been around is because he's been out hunting Skrull, who have been masking as the Yakuza. So in Avengers 4, we might see him come and say, "Oh yeah, sorry guys, I was busy." And I can't really say what it was about. It's top secret or something. Who knows? But in the comics and cartoons, that's sort of what happens.
What a storyline!
Yeah. So then that really trickles over to others. That will follow on from Captain Marvel with the Skrulls and so on. So yeah.
Wow, that sounds really good. Now, one piece of bombshell. This is a bombshell for me, and a piece of news that I wanted to kind of like mention to you. And we spoke about this over WhatsApp the other day.
Mate, yeah.
So my friend Henry Cavill, who I kind of meet regularly all the time and stuff, and we always chat and have a coffee, out in Kensington and everything. No, seriously, so this is like news. This was kind of like blowing up on the internet. Henry Cavill no longer set to be Superman. Like, oh my God. So apparently, right, there was a deal going on between Warner Brothers and Henry Cavill. I think he was really pushing for another Superman solo movie.
Yeah.
Because from what I got from the interviews, like Man of Steel and
Justice League,
Justice
Batman,
League and
Superman.
He was really good. I got to say, he is a good Superman, but I don't think the character was justified enough. And I think there was a couple of things that were missing in there. And I feel like as if he wanted to go the Hugh Jackman Logan route, where Hugh Jackman always spoke about, right, give me one more chance and I'm going to go out on a bang. And then they made Logan, and what a send off.
Yeah.
That was like cinematic, like classic, for storytelling. So what I kind of felt was, and this is genuine, when I spoke to him, he kind of mentioned that he goes, yeah, he'd love to do one more and he'd love to give it his best shot. And now it seems like as if that kind of the communication broke down, and he's kind of turned his back away on it, and the door's open now for someone else to come through, which I think is a shame. A
crazy shame. And I reckon he obviously, like you say, he wants to do it. So I think it's more their fault. I think something's broken down on their side.
Yeah.
They've probably made a demand that it's just out of this world, or something that's just not, or they want to go do it. Maybe they want to do a certain route that he doesn't believe in.
Yeah.
So he's got to think of the character and what he wants to portray. And if it's not right, if the script ain't right, then it's not going to happen. But there's talk about maybe Michael B. Jordan.
This was
being
like
Superman.
Again. This is one of those rumors, like when we heard Tom Cruise being Hal Jordan. So I think this is a rumor out there. But imagine this: so Michael B. Jordan donning, like I don't know how this would work.
I've seen the comic art, and I don't know. I mean,
and listen. Anything's possible. DC, they could go so kind of like, the other direction. And they could say, you know what, fuck it. We're going to reboot this and we are going to kind of just make this totally different. And we're going to have a new, a person of color play the Man of Steel.
Can you imagine in some parts of America, what is going on here?
This is like...
They take our golf. Tiger Woods playing golf. Look at that. We got them Williams sisters playing tennis. You know what I mean? They already got the basketball,
exactly,
and the baseball and the football. That was okay, but Superman, he's from Kansas.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? He's from Kansas, not New York. What's going on, Atlanta?
Like, there's people out there probably screaming, no, let us have this one thing at least. But listen, no, the comic books, right? People have got to remember, comic books were like so way ahead of their time, and Marvel. I mean, then this is where I got to say Marvel were ahead of the pack.
Yeah.
Like, where they would have people of color, in the comic books and like, changing shit up. So why not? All right. So there's that one. Oh, and what is this? Tell us about John Hamm.
Yeah, John Hamm. So there was an interview, someone speaking to John Hamm about donning the cowl of Batman. And just thinking about it, I mean, he's
got that chin.
He's got the chin. He's got the charisma.
Yeah.
He's got the look. He's got the voice. He's got the stature. He literally, for me, more than Batman, he's Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
He is Bruce Wayne, literally.
Absolutely.
And he's like, Bruce Wayne's meant to be the world's smartest detective. I can buy him. I could buy him being a detective more than Ben Affleck. If he's solving crime and being clever, I can really buy it off him.
That will
really buy it off him.
That's a good buy. Now, the only thing for me is, he is round about. Is he older or younger than
he's
Ben?
Older.
He's older than Ben Affleck.
I think he's slightly older. Yeah, it doesn't massively look it.
No.
But from what I understand, the new Batman, they actually want to be younger, so it goes against him.
So, and are you saying then? So they get a younger person to play Batman, and then it could probably go on for a good 3 or 4 movies.
Exactly, that's what they want to do. Longevity rather than get someone that's a bit older because then he's only going to get older and older, and then the story's going to have to adapt to him being older. The rest of the Justice League are quite young, aren't they? Yeah.
So, for example, now, if they cast a younger person and they say, look, you know what, we want to sign you on for a 3-picture deal, because that's what usually happens now, like, minimum of 3 films. And making 3 films, if 2 films, a film every couple of years, that is a long kind of period in your lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Could be 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years.
Exactly, yeah. Look at Tony Stark, 10 years that's been. Cap has been 7 years. Thor, 7 years. Black Widow, she's been in it since 2010. That's 8 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a longevity.
It is a long one, isn't it?
It's longevity,
and that's why they say now for kind of like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, this could be the kind of the last, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now keeping it with DC, tell us about Suicide Squad.
Yeah, so Suicide Squad originally came out in 2016, wasn't it? I think.
Yep.
Was it 2015? 2016, yeah, August, I think it was. And done okay-ish. There was a lot of backlash over the quality of it. A lot of reshoots happened, actually.
Yeah.
I think Deadpool came out February 2016. Suicide Squad saw how good that was and thought, shit, we need to change some shit up.
And just on that, apparently on the DVD, on the Blu-ray and stuff, there's a lot of Joker stuff that was cut out of the film.
Yeah.
But you can see that on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And Jared Leto, he like takes it up a notch. Loads of stuff in there.
He was very unhappy that it got cut out.
Yeah.
But so the script for Suicide Squad 2 is complete. And it's meant to be, the first draft is complete. Co-writer Todd Stashwick has sort of talked about how they wanted to develop the story. It's going to be a direct sequel to Suicide Squad, so it's not going to be any prequel or any sort of sidestep. It's definitely going to be a continuation from the story of them, because I think they were all put back in the slammer, weren't they? Was some of them put back in the slammer afterwards? I know Will Smith was. He was put back inside, wasn't he? And
excuse me, really sorry. His character arc, it was kind of like, he's a badass and you know, his daughter was like, hey, look, Dad, you know, please don't kill anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he does this good thing.
Yeah.
I think more for his family.
For less time or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess some sort of shit's going to hit the fan. They're going to think, who else can do this? Superman's not around or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
Batman's not around
Batman's
or
off the
whatever.
scene, yeah.
They're recasting, so we ain't got a Batman. So they're going to have to call the Suicide Squad because everyone else is busy.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's what's going to happen in part 2. But
And just to kind of counteract with that one, do you remember at the end of Justice League where Lex Luthor, he brings in Deadshot?
Yeah, because they're making their own team.
So could this be the moment that we see the Suicide Squad versus what? Hang on, what are they called?
Oh, I thought they're called. They're called
no, not Sinister Six. No.
Oh, something. Is it Injustice? No, not Injustice. What are they called? Something. They're called.
Yeah.
They're baddies.
Yeah,
they're a bunch of baddies.
So they alluded to the fact that he wants to bring in a team as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe we might. There's been no leaks on what the story's about, but it could be. Who knows? But it's refreshing. The first Suicide Squad was written in 5 weeks or 6 weeks.
Whoa!
This one they're taking their time with, so hopefully it will be better.
I mean,
should be better
for 5 weeks though. Bloody hell!
Done well for that.
Shit. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I don't think like worldwide. You could. Probably they expected it to do a lot more, but at the end of the day,
done better than Justice League.
Exactly. That's
and cost a lot less. So
yeah, exactly. All right. So moving on with the kind of superhero news, we've got Venom. Tell us about Venom.
Venom, yeah. So you know, when the trailer first came out, we saw Venom. Thought, okay, Venom's going to be chopping off heads and all sorts, but there's talk now, or there's an understanding that Marvel or Sony are now making Venom PG-13 because they want to allow Venom to cross over into the Spidey-verse at some point. So if they were to make Venom now be, you know, like a proper hardcore rated R or 18 or 15 or whatever it might be, then that will eliminate the interaction because he'll just be doing things Spidey can't deal with. So they're going to lighten it up from what I understand. I hoped that wouldn't happen, and I hope if it does happen, I hope it's borderline. I hope he does do crazy shit.
I'm with you,
but we just don't see it on screen, maybe.
Yeah.
So I still want him to be able to be Venom.
Definitely, you know? I want to see that darkness actually. Exactly. And I think Tom Hardy. I think they got Tom Hardy to kind of do that and play that because that's what he does.
Exactly. So can you imagine if that's what they promised in the beginning, and then now they go back and cut bits out? That'll piss him off.
Definitely.
That might piss them off.
Yeah, and especially if they start doing like reshoots or whatever and everything. I hope they don't. But I've seen there's a new trailer out. Have you seen this new trailer?
I think so. The bit where he's in the shop and chatting to the guy. And
everything. And then, you know what? It looks great.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see this one.
Yeah. It's out in like 2.5 weeks, you know.
I know, but with all these things, I don't want to. Now I've kind of started to expectation.
Yeah, keep it low.
I'm going to keep it low.
Keep it low.
I'm not going to be like, hey, wow, God, be like, you know what? So I'm going to be subdued about this, all right? And then we'll speak about it in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Venom. Wow, a lot of DC news coming out. Now, tell us about DC and Supergirl.
Yeah, so I guess it kind of follows on from the Superman, or Man of Steel news, really. But one of the reasons our DC were not so keen on continuing the Man of Steel is because they want to recreate the success of Wonder Woman. So they want to make a Supergirl movie and to also not just star a lead female character, but to be directed by a female director as well. So they're literally thinking, okay, what has worked, what hasn't, and you know, they're thinking, let's do this. So also within the Supergirl movie, they're looking to introduce Brainiac. Brainiac is he's kind of like an apocalypse type, not apocalypse, sorry. It's kind of like a Galactus type villain because he takes over worlds. Yeah. He's just mad brain, mad power, and a maniac. Brainiac. So that's what hopefully is going to happen. Not sure who's going to be Supergirl.
Sure.
Not sure if it's going to be, I don't know which sort of, she's blonde, isn't she? So I'm not sure who's out there. Maybe the girl that was in It Follows and what do you call it? It Follows and The Guest. She might be a good shout for it. I'm not sure. Yeah, totally. So we'll see. Yeah.
And I kind of think, like, because obviously Marvel, they announced the whole Captain Marvel that Captain Marvel was going to be the face of, you know, the next phase of Avengers movies, and she's going to be this big superhero, and they want to push kind of like, you know, female characters.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like as if DC have to do this now,
Yeah.
and they have to compete. And people, you know, rightly or wrongly, they kind of got bored with Justice League, and
Yeah.
you know, maybe Superman wasn't this kind of character that they thought could be the spearhead of what they want to do, which is a shame. But it'd be great to see what happens with Supergirl.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting, but I'd be gutted if I don't see Superman.
Oh man,
Because I did like Man of Steel 2013. I saw it a couple of times in the cinema. I did like it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
And I've got to say one thing to you, and we've spoken about this before. When it was the dawn of justice, when I first watched that film, I didn't like it. But then when I watched it a second and a third time, I had a much better kind of experience.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got to give films like, you know,
Time.
Yeah. That's what I'd say. Right, okay, so another kind of like, you know, superhero thing that I want to mention, and this relates to Dark Phoenix. So Sophie Turner, who plays Phoenix in the X-Men universe,
Jean Grey,
and we've seen her in I think it was X-Men.
She was in X-Men Apocalypse, and I think just Apocalypse.
X-Men First Class, wasn't it?
Nah, she's part of the newer ones.
Okay.
Apocalypse,
Yeah. So they apparently, so again, a rumor. We'll speak to our guys out in LA. There was a test screening.
Oh my gosh.
There was a test screening, right? And apparently it was hated.
Serious.
Yeah, the reviews were terrible. So they went back and they did some reshoots, and there's been some stuff in the news where Sophie Turner turned around and said, hey, no, it's just normal. We're just doing some reshoots. And you mentioned this before. They always do reshoots. So it could just be that. But, you know, when I kind of like read up about these kind of like test reviews, who knows? There's
trouble. Fox has trouble with X-Men.
Yeah.
Because New Mutants, do you know when that was originally supposed to be out?
God.
New Mutants was supposed to be out February or March 2018.
Yeah.
We're now in September
and
it's not out. It's being pushed back to next year sometime.
So that means there's something's going on, right?
Trouble. Dark Phoenix, that was meant to be out already, I think, summertime. It got pushed back to the end of the year. Now it's next year.
Yeah.
Trouble.
Yeah, I think so.
Trouble.
This could be a turkey. Do you know that?
Sure.
It's got Jessica Chastain. I'm not sure what villain she plays or what.
She's meant to be Lalandra of the Shia Empire.
Okay.
The Shia Empire are bad.
Yeah.
They've got Gladiator. They've got the Shia Empire in the comics and cartoons are they're like a bit like, you know how the Kree are and the Skrull. They're like an empire of the universe in the universe.
Yeah.
And they like to take over things and stuff like that. But they're really powerful. They've got some they're the ones that had the story of the M-Cron crystal. So the M-Cron crystal was something that could, I think, capture the Phoenix, or the Phoenix was somehow linked to it. And the Shia Empire wanted the M-Cron crystal, and the Phoenix had some sort of conflict over it. But Lalandra is a telepath. She communicates with Charles Xavier from like across the galaxy, and that's how they link. That's how the Shia come to Earth, and then all the whole armada comes to Earth. And Gladiator is like crazy powerful. He punches Juggernaut into space. Juggernaut is unstoppable. Juggernaut runs to Gladiator, and the Gladiator just punches him into space. They got some crazy powerful people. And
do you know if we're going to see like Charles Xavier, like James McAvoy?
They're all supposed to be.
They're all supposed to be in it. Right, okay.
They're all supposed to be in it. So he's very important because him and Lalandra, they communicate. They kind of fall in love actually. So.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Wow. All right. So that's going to be interesting. So again, The Rock, man, this guy is non-stop. So tell us The Rock. So
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, just got a sort of video just yesterday about them. So Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt are starring in a film called Jungle Cruise.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Jungle Cruise, you know, Jungle Cruise. Imagine that. Yeah. So they're. It's kind of like a swashbuckling type, Jumanji type film. From the costume that I saw him wearing, he's wearing one of those kind of like Indiana Jones type costumes and so on. But Meant to be a fun film. It's I think, is it Disney? I don't know if it's Disney. It might not be Disney. I could be lying, but basically it's finished. It's wrapped. So they're gonna do post-production now. It's out next summer. So again, this guy doesn't stop working. Literally doesn't stop working.
I think this year he's had about 3 or 4 films out already.
He's mad. But
Yeah.
do you know what? He's cashing in while he can.
Exactly.
He's looking. He's going to retire probably like in the next however many years, and
Yeah.
he's set for life. So
Yeah.
he's clever.
Yeah, he is. No, definitely, he's got like a brain on that.
Oh yeah,
on those
for
shoulders.
sure. Yeah.
All right, so that's The Rock. What about Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt is starring in a film called Ad Astra. It's a weird one, but it's basically, I saw this film on a list because I book my cinema tickets in advance all the time.
Yeah.
And I saw this film set to be released here in the UK in January, and I thought, what's Ad Astra? Didn't think much of it. Then I found out about it yesterday. Ad Astra is a story of Brad Pitt who goes searching for his dad, who I think is Donald Sutherland, near the space. So he goes searching for his dad's ship near Neptune.
Oh.
So Neptune is so it's Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. So it's one of the furthest planets in the solar system, and he goes searching for his dad's ship and can't find it. And he takes a crew with him, to try and find one person. Yeah, why not take 10? Take 10 lives, risk 10 lives. Why not?
Yeah.
So I don't know if what more happens of it. Maybe the dad's been taken by aliens. Maybe it's a black hole type thing.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Maybe it's like Event Horizon, and it's like some nasty shit's gonna happen, which I hope it is.
Yeah.
But the thing that got me on this one was that it's the film is I guess captured by the Interstellar director of photography or
wicked.
cinematographer. So we know from that.
Yes.
It's going to look good.
It's going to look pristine.
Yeah, Interstellar, this person knows about space films, successful space films.
Sure.
So we know it's going to look good. So
It
that,
is
for me, I
gonna
thought,
look
when I saw that, I thought, yep, this is news.
Yeah.
So this is out in January in the UK, which is 4 months' time. So
nothing really.
looking
right?
good, exactly.
Nothing
looking
really.
good.
All right, brilliant. So moving on now. Okay, what's this? Walking Dead. All right, tell us about Walking Dead, Rick.
I saw this. This is just a bit of fun news, man. This Walking Dead. So Rick, obviously you know about Negan, and Negan's got Lucille, that baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire.
Yeah.
That's so powerful that even guns can't stop him, So in the next season 9, I saw an image of Rick with his own version of Lucille.
Oh.
He's got a baseball bat with these like wooden spikes, or they almost look like little mini pyramids on his baseball bat. So they're not really spikes, they're like mini pyramids, so that when he hits someone, he's chopping flesh.
Yeah, he's going to do damage.
Exactly.
And do we know anything about how this exit of his is going to happen? So, because famously he's out of it, he's going to be out of it.
Yeah,
now.
I don't know if he's going to die or he's going to move to another town. I don't know, but he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. He's lost everything. He's lost his son. He lost his wife.
Yeah.
All he's got now is his baby.
Yeah, exactly. So, and maybe he could just kind of finds a little corner in wherever it is, and he's just going to grow old.
Exactly. Settle down.
Yeah. I mean, however best you can.
Exactly.
When the zombies come. All right, here's a question. Where would you go in the event of a zombie apocalypse?
Where would I go? I would go to I would try and find a point that's as high as possible. Somewhere where there's a supermarket nearby.
Yeah.
For facilities.
Yeah.
Somewhere where I've got a vantage point where I can see things coming.
Yeah.
That's where I'd go. And I wouldn't want to be around too many stupid people. They make silly decisions and bring trouble and so on. So I'll keep it minimum. Yeah. Maybe a crew of about 4 people, maybe. Sure. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, somewhere good vantage point, facilities, resources. And that I'll build my base from there. So maybe like Ali Pali.
Yeah, great place.
Alexandra
Why not?
Palace,
Alexandra
exactly.
Palace,
yeah. That's what I think I'll do. Where would you go?
Oh gosh, that's a good one. Somewhere kind of. The only thing that I'm thinking about, like you said about like a high point. Like those zombies from World War Z.
Yeah.
I'm just like, as soon as they start running and start kind of climbing up on top of each other, man, those bastards are going to go.
You didn't say they were running zombies.
Yeah,
You just
but
said
we don't know. In England, we don't know what type of zombies they're going to be like. So
it'd be like tea and biscuit zombies, isn't it? All right, mate.
all right, mate, here you go. What about underground?
That's what I thought. But then if you get trapped underground, you've got no way out.
If there was like a bunker somewhere.
Yeah, but then what resources are you going to run out of air? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah. If there was a good bunker, like in that Jodie Foster film, a good like panic room type thing with facilities, I'll be down there, mate.
Yeah, mate, I know.
Give me one chick, that's what I need. One chick to keep me company.
What, one? Just one?
Boy.
Sorry, okay. All right, so Michael Moore. Now, I'm a big fan of Michael Moore. I remember watching Bowling for Columbine. Where's My Country Dude? Like, you know, he's
Fahrenheit 9/11.
Fahrenheit 9/11. Yeah. So now he's coming up, he's made a new documentary. Tell us about this one.
So this one is called Fahrenheit 11/9. I got confused for a second. I saw this and I thought, what's this? It's the other way around. But it premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival and it got good reviews. People liked it. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy around his kind of work.
Yeah.
He's very out there, outspoken, and, you know, he uses his freedom of speech like all the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a lot about modern shit, basically.
Okay.
The Trump administration.
Yeah.
Basically, he's talking about how we as people have, like, basically there's a quote from the documentary that says, yes, like Trump is like, basically he's like Frankenstein, but we are his makers.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's something like we made what's there.
Exactly.
So we are the. It's up to us. It's down to us, basically.
The people voted for him.
Yeah. Right. They voted for him, but it's also the fact that we have allowed ourselves to be so sort of, not me and you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You guys. No,
you guys.
No, but I mean, like the masses. We've allowed ourselves to be dumbed down by media, be brain dead by watching all these stupid shows and not educating ourselves, reading. I'm guilty of some of these things, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, me too.
But all these things have turned us into just followers. So anything we see on the news or TV, we believe. If they tell us to vote for this, we do it.
Yeah.
So it's like we're the architects of our own downfall.
Exactly.
And now we've created this, you know, this person that we now have to listen to.
Yeah, no, totally.
So,
and talking about followers, ladies and gents, please follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
And
YouTube and Twitter and Facebook.
Just had to get that one in there. Sorry about that. But you're absolutely right, though. No, Devout, seriously. Yeah. But I think he sheds a kind of light on. He's like the voice of like the conscious of America. And whenever you see a Michael Moore documentary, I think people sit up. They notice because he tells it basically how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there are people out there who they find holes in his arguments, and you always have to have that. You got to have the good and the bad and stuff. But I think his stuff is definitely worth watching.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. So finally, now Avengers Infinity War is. Wow, this is just incredible. These records. Tell us about these.
Yeah, Avengers Infinity War, one of my favourite films of all time.
Yeah.
So worldwide, it's now number 4 box office. It's literally, so it's Avatar, Titanic, Force Awakens, then Infinity War.
Wow.
Yeah, and then below that you have like Fast 7.
Yeah.
You've got what's it called? You got Avengers 1. You've got that there as well.
Yeah.
And a few other films. Black Panther's number 9, done really well. Yeah, so
about 2 or 3 of those movies in the top 10 are like Marvel films.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So worldwide is number 4. So it's done 2-point-something billion worldwide. But in the US, it's now all-time number 2.
Wow.
Just overtaken Titanic. Avatar, I think, is still number 1. So yeah, it's like it's crazy.
It's madness.
It's literally crazy.
And what is crazy is the fact that we are still talking about this movie.
I know.
17 episodes in.
This movie will never go. This movie started this.
This movie is a movie that keeps on giving.
Keeps on giving. And it's going to give us more next year.
It's going to give us more.
What's going to happen next year then? What kind of box office? They better get a good bonus in that. I want to hear these actors getting little or production crew getting little bits of money, you know. They better be getting paid good for this.
They better be paid on time, double.
Trust me.
Yeah,
they deserve good paychecks on this one.
And so do we, I think, as well. Marvel, send us a couple of mil. Right, okay, so let's move on to the box office top 10.
Yep.
And we've got a couple of new ones in here. And the first new one that I want to mention is sitting in at number 10 is Black 47. Now, do you know anything about this movie? Because looking at the stats, looking at the figures, it's taken in 400 grand. I think it debuted in at number 10. So I'm not sure if it's a... Mate, I don't know anything about...
I haven't heard of it. I just checked it out now, basically, and it's got Hugo Weaving in it.
Oh,
Hugo Weaving. So it's set in Ireland during the Great Famine, and it's a drama that follows an Irish ranger who's been fighting for the British Army and has abandoned his post to reunite with his family. And yeah, I think despite him seeing the horrors of war, he's shocked by like the Irish famine's destruction of his homeland. So I guess it's to do with like the war, famine, family, who your allegiance is and stuff like that.
Yeah,
who you fight for, what you believe in. But yeah, Black 47. I thought it was to do with Passenger 47, Wesley Snipes.
He's back.
Always better on black, you know. But I guess it's not. But it's got Hugo Weaving, who played Mr. Smith, Agent Smith in Matrix, and V for Vendetta. He was the V. I think I don't know what that character was called.
He was in Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah, the Elf King.
Yeah.
So
he's been in big films, and I mean that Agent Smith, the character that you just mentioned, iconic.
Yeah. Mr. Anderson.
He's just brilliant in that film. I thought that was his, for me, Definitely. He was brilliant. Okay, so number 9, and I'm still surprised this is still in the top 10, but well done.
It's done all right, yeah.
It's done all right. So The Equalizer 2, it's taken under 7 million total, but it brought in another 400k. So I mean, we've spoken about this before. Please check out a previous episode. It kind of moved the story forward, and there's some bits in there that you'd like. I thought some bits were kind of a bit off, but hey, you know what? It's all good. It's all brilliant seeing kind of Denzel Washington do this. Sitting in at number 8 is Hotel Transylvania 3, A Monster Vacation. Again, it's done really well. We haven't seen it, so we'll probably catch it on Blu-ray or DVD.
No, bullshit to the people. We're not going to watch this.
I'm not going to watch it. Sitting in at number 7, a film which I have seen is Searching. And you know what? It's in there, and it's done. It did really well in America. It's taken over 50 million in the US box office. It's taken kind of under 2 million over here. So I'm glad that it's still in there. Number 6, Incredibles 2. That's still going strong.
54 mil altogether. That's all right, that's just here. So America's going to be 4 times more.
Yeah, listen, it's cleaned up worldwide. It's a mad film, right? So let's wait and see what the end figures are on that one.
Yeah.
Number 5, we've got The Meg. So this is Jason Statham fighting Megalodon.
Megalodon.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
A massive shark.
Yeah. So it's kind of a lot of references to Jaws in there. So some bits were quite funny. I think the last 45 minutes of the film were the best part of the film. It's worth a watch. All right, so number 4 is Mamma Mia. Here we go again. This is still taking in the money.
63 mil.
And what did Avengers?
I remember a time when it said 64. I don't know if that was the last time I saw it though, but I do remember a time when it said 64 mil. I can always check it out, but I think Mamma Mia might eclipse it,
Yeah,
Mamma Mia is number 4 right now.
Yeah.
As it's sliding down, it's still taking money.
200,000-300,000 here and there.
You know what I'm saying? Last week alone, 800 grand in a week. So if it takes 7 the week after, 6, if it keeps going down like that, it's going to get 70.
Yeah.
It's going to hit 70 maybe.
It is. All right, number 3, we've got Black Klansman, and I love this film. It's really great. We reviewed this. We saw this film. It's a Spike Lee joint, and he's back to his best.
Yeah.
And if you want, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to kind of get the, I wouldn't say a counter, but a film which you spoke about last week, which is Chirac, which is, again, it's got kind of these themes in there about kind of
strong messages and stuff.
I think,
social commentary.
Maybe watch those back to back.
Yeah.
So that's really good seeing that doing well. Number 2, Christopher Robin. Finally, it's been kicked off the number 1. So that's taken 12 million. I haven't seen it.
Nah, I'm not going to see it.
Yeah. Sitting in at number 1, a film which we reviewed last week is The Nun. And just literally, just like a sentence, what did you think about this?
Not all that. Not all that for me.
Yeah,
not all that.
And famously, you said you're having none of it.
I ain't have none of it. The only nuns I want in my life, like I said, is Sister Mary Clarence from Sister Acts and Robbie Coltrane, Nuns on the Run. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so we kind of we weren't impressed with this film, but it's debuted. It's in at number 1, so I'm sure people will go out because it's the kind of the Conjuring franchise universe type of thing.
Pull them in, but will they thing with that one? I think that will slide down quite quickly. If you look at Black Klansman, that's been quite consistent. It's not been really number 1, but it's been consistent because I think word of mouth is carrying it through.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go, ladies and gents. That is the UK's box office top 10. And remember, if you've got any questions about the UK's box office or any films that you want to review or speak about or let us know about, maybe a film that's not in the top 10, let us know. Get in touch with us. We're more than willing to speak about it on the show. So now let's move on to Blu-ray. What do we have on Blu-ray, Deval?
Blu-ray. So this week we have coming out on Blu-ray Deadpool 2. Also in 4K Blu-ray as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be crystal.
And this is the super cut.
Yeah, so it's going to have some extra footage in there. I've seen a couple of clips of extra footage. I've seen a clip that's got a bit more juice with Negasonic Teenage Warhead and her girlfriend Yukio. A conversation in the kitchen about some stuff. And a few more conversations about, Deadpool, there's so much extra because they ad-lib quite a lot.
Yeah.
So there's so much extra bits and bobs in there that they just couldn't fit into the film that they will add on this Blu-ray.
I'd really want to see it for the bloopers. With then just corpsing or just like laughing their asses off. I love that sort of shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be tons of it in there. But I'm definitely gonna see it again on that supercut version.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be good. I need to see the film anyway again because it's just a good film.
Yeah, because I think in the end you only watched it 5 times or something.
I only watched it 3 times.
Oh, 3 times
this time.
Okay.
Yeah, only 3 times. I need to see it again.
Yeah,
it's been a little while.
It's been a while now, hasn't it? Yeah. All right, what else have we got, sir?
Yeah, we got on Chesil Beach.
We mentioned this was
in cinema a while ago. Saoirse Ronan, who was in Hannah, and she's been in a bunch of other stuff. She's a really great up and coming actress. I think she's Irish as well. I think but really really good. She's like proper into the indie film. She likes a good character. So I definitely see her being a real star in the future. I think she was Oscar nominated for something as well. Wasn't she the one that was in Lady Bird? Yeah, so she's really good. So on Chesil Beach, she's out on DVD, Blu-ray this week.
And what else? Also,
we got Life of the Party, which is the film that has got what's her name? Amy
Schumer?
No, the one from Bridesmaids. Biggest Melissa McBride or something.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, Melissa McBride. I'm thinking of there was
Bridesmaid.
No, there was someone called McBride, isn't there?
Danny McBride.
Is it? Who's
Halloween.
That? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. So Melissa McCarthy, she goes back to university. I believe this is the one, and she's got her daughter at the same university.
Yeah,
and she ends up being the life of the party because she takes over, goes to like the frat parties or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's all like, "Woo, yeah, I'm the mom." She's partying with her daughter.
Any student's worst nightmare is to have like your parent there, and like
gosh.
they're kind of like more famous than you, and like
Can you imagine?
They're more popular than you. Imagine that.
No chance. Doing all them like them dances and all that, and nah, mate. Nah, mate.
Yeah, we're not having that.
So that's out this week.
All right. And Escape Plan.
Escape Plan
so
Part 2.
So this is Stallone and...
No, it was actually, Stallone and Batista on this one. Before it was Arnold Schwarzenegger on the first one.
Okay.
And now this one's got Batista. So obviously the Escape Plan Part 1 didn't work.
No.
Because Stallone's still banged up.
He's still banged up and he's still got to get out.
Exactly. So now he's got Batista trying to get him out.
Yeah.
So I've seen Part 1. Part 1 was not bad. It was kind of okay.
Yeah.
Just because it's got two gangsters.
80s. Yeah, exactly.
in it.
Legends.
But yeah, Part 2 I probably will watch at some point just to see how they do it.
Exactly.
And then Breaking In coming out as well this week on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Breaking In, it stars my sort of girlfriend.
Sure, yeah.
And Do you know what her name is?
No, just let us know again.
Is it?
No, it's Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle Union, yeah. So it stars her, and I think some person has broken into her house.
Right.
Her house has some really high tech security systems.
Yeah.
Somehow I think they broke in. They've got her kids.
Okay.
And she's locked out or something. Now she has to try and break into the house and get her kids back. And she turns into like a badass, like
Jason Bourne.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah. Or like even like Ripley from Aliens, like stay away from them, you bitch, kind of thing. So she's trying to break in, going all gangster to get her kids back. So yeah, I ain't seen it yet, but I probably will see it at some point. Should be good though.
Okay, cool.
Anything with her is good. She was in Bad Boys 2, wasn't it? Or Bad Boys 1?
Yeah, she plays
one of their girlfriends, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was she a cop as well?
No, I don't know about that.
But she was definitely in it, though, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. I'm sure. Yeah,
Gabrielle Union. She's also being Mary Jane, and
yeah,
she's married to that basketballer, isn't she? I can't remember his name, but he's like a proper like good basketballer.
Yeah. All right, so that is what's out on Blu-ray this week or this month. Yep. So keep it locked down and check those films out, ladies and gentlemen. Now, new on streaming and on trailers, we've got loads of stuff here for you. So tell us about, Deval, this is a trailer, right? So this is
the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, tell us about Instant Family.
Instant Familia. So it's, I said that for a reason though.
Okay.
It stars Mark Wahlberg and what's her name? She was in X-Men. She was the doctor, or the professor in X-Men. The one that in First Class, the Rosie something.
Yes.
I don't know if she's English or Irish, but
she's Australian.
She's Australian. Okay. So it stars them as parents that they want to have a child. I don't think she can have a child or something. Something's not happening. They can't have children.
Sure.
And they look to adopt. Rather than adopting, they're both white. Rather than adopting white kids, they look at adopting kids from other backgrounds.
Right. Okay.
So they come across. I'm not sure if they're Mexican, but they're definitely Latin, and I think they might be Mexican actually. But they adopt these kids. There's first of all, they go to like an adoption fair, and they see all these little kids, and they walk past these teenagers, and then the lady says, "Oh, look at these teenagers. They seem all right." And then Mark Wahlberg says, "No, these teenagers, no, they're not all right. They're all going to be, have attitudes. They're all going to want to smoke pot in their rooms. They're all going to want to go steal and all that kind of stuff."
Yeah.
And then one of the kids says, "We can hear you, So one of the kids is the girl. She's like a teenager, maybe 15 or something like that.
Sure.
And they're like, "Oh, actually, we like her." So they go and speak to someone, and they say, "Yeah, she's available for adoption."
Right.
And she also comes with two others. She's got two other siblings. So there's three of them. They've got to now adopt.
And she's going to be nice, and then the other two are going to be obnoxious.
It's a madness. So it's just like they adopt these three kids, and they take them home, and it's just comedy. All kinds of shit happens. Yeah. It's just funny, but the clip does look quite good. So I saw it in for this looks like a good film.
Yeah, it does sound funny.
That's why it's instant, because literally they wanted one, but they got an instant ready-made family of all ages. And
Mark Wahlberg, he's going to be hitting the screens like next week or this week or whatever.
Mile 22.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll check that and we'll watch it out.
Yeah.
All right. What else have we got?
At Eternity's Gate is a trailer.
Yes.
And it stars Willem Dafoe, actually. And he stars as the painter, the one that cut his ear off. What's his name again?
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, yeah, Van Gogh. Vincent? Vincent, yeah. So the trailer looks very, very, very artistic. It looks like a very independent film, not a major sort of, glamorous blockbuster, but it looks very independent. The camera, the photography is all quite in your face and, soft focus and stuff like that. But it just looks like his life, his head, how he gets his inspiration. Because I think Van Gogh was he cut his own ear off because he used to suffer from seizures or something, and he used to have visions or something. Yeah, exactly.
And
that's kind of like how the trailer depicts him as being a genius, but also slightly mad.
Yes,
because he is on a next level of mental capacity, and he's saying people don't understand what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing a door, I'm seeing a gateway. Like he doesn't see things normally, which again lends to his artistic, strengths, but at the same time, normal life, he doesn't cope. He's in a mental asylum, all sorts. He ends up cutting his own ear for a reason that he believes is justified. But it looks like a good film.
Yeah, wow. And Willem Dafoe, I mean, we know him from, obviously, Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's been in everything. He's in Antichrist. He's done independent films before.
Yeah.
You know,
he's really good. He's been in Spike Lee films, Inside Man.
Yeah. He's very versatile.
Yeah, he's played Christ.
And you know what? When I checked this out, it surprised me. Yeah, Christ. Yeah, he was Christ, isn't it? Yeah. In the 1986, I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah.
His name. Do you know what his name is?
William.
No, it's Willem.
Oh.
It's Wilem. It's not William, it's Willem Dafoe.
Shit. So
when I was searching him, I couldn't find him. I was like, where's this guy? Willem Dafoe. I was putting in William. Then I just put in Dafoe and I thought, oh shit, his name isn't William, it's Willem.
So I've been saying his name wrong for the last 30 years.
Yes, trust me. It's Willem Dafoe.
Oh, flipping hell.
Exactly.
I didn't even notice that.
When you search it, you'll see. You'll be like, shit, where's the I? Unless it's a typo on IMDb.
Nah, I think we've been doing it wrong. All right. So what else have we got?
Stranger things have happened.
And I've seen season 2 and I thought it was a really good season. And it ended up with, you know, the image of the kind of like the tarantula looking thing.
The Gorgonzola. What was called now? Goku. The
Demigorg. No, Demigorg was the first. No.
Oh, is it? The monster.
It's the monster. So the monster's still there.
Yeah.
It hasn't really gone, has it? They think that they've kind of killed the monster, but no, really, it's still there.
Yeah, shit's still going to hit the fan. Yeah.
It looks good.
Season 2 is looking good. It's going to be out next year. I thought it was going to be out this year.
I know. But mind you, then, wasn't it out this year?
No, last year.
Oh.
Yeah, last year it was.
Okay.
Last year, September, I think. Came out near Halloween.
Yeah.
So, I guess those kids are doing other work now. They're doing It, Godzilla.
That's it, Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Who's actually English. I had no idea.
I didn't even know that. And then the brother
is English as well.
Because he turned up in Marrowbone.
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea. These British people running around, changing their accents and stuff.
How the hell they do it? I mean, but talking about accents, I mean, you're great at accents. So
what are you talking about?
So it's like, I mean, ladies and gents, come on. We've got you can put on any accent.
But they can do it seriously good. They can convince someone for a whole season they're American.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to look out for that one. Oh, and I got a mention.
Talking about accents of British people being American.
This is Charlie Cox doing Daredevil.
Yeah.
And I saw this trailer and literally it's just like a 30-second teaser trailer of him in like the confession box in a church. And the one thing that I loved about this was he turns around and he's got this deep voice and he's like, Father. Or no, actually he doesn't say father. No, that's bullshit. But he just turns around and he just says, I would rather die as the Daredevil than live as Matt Murdock. And I was just like, whoa, this is brilliant. It's deep, isn't it? So clearly at the end of Defenders, we thought he died. But obviously, no. He's gonna come back because how could you kill off like one of the best characters in the Defenders? And so he's back, and I think what they're trying to imply here is that he's totally taken on this thing. Like, look,
Devil of Hell's Kitchen.
Exactly,
yeah.
He is the Devil of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, I think also he realizes that that's what's required to get the job done.
Yeah,
Matt Murdock isn't enough. The Devil of Hell's Kitchen is what's needed to clean up the shit. So he's just saying to the priest, you know what? I'm telling you now, I'm going to be the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. This is me now because I need to do this.
Yes, and I cannot
forgive
wait.
me from now.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Exactly.
And I think this is going to kind of throw up a lot of conflict between him and
the girl.
The journalist.
Yeah. I forgot her name actually now. That's really bad of me. But yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, the redhead. Yeah.
And in the comic books, she she has a past. She's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and we still don't know what they haven't mentioned it.
Not fully.
So maybe they might explore that. But what's his
Karen? Is it Karen?
Karen, that's it.
Karen Page.
Karen Page. And what's his friend's name? Wookie? No, not Wookie.
Shook. Oh, damn! We're so good at this, aren't we? Busty, no, Buggy, Shuggy,
Buggy, no,
Foggy,
Foggy.
I knew it was something gee.
Foggy.
So we got there in the end, you know.
I love
that
it.
catchphrase. Say what you see. Say what you see. Say what you see. Foggy.
I love that. Foggy. Right. Okay. So Foggy. Yeah. So I think, and remember, he was always like, "No, Matt, you got to stop this shit." And like,
they fell out big time, man.
Huge. And I hope we see Fisk again.
Oh, of course.
Like,
he
was wicked.
Fisk. He was heavy.
He was mad.
Yeah.
Like this is a
He
gangster.
was a perfect kingpin.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, I haven't seen. Oh no, we'll speak about that afterwards. We'll speak about Iron Fist afterwards. Okay. All right. So that was Daredevil. Now another trailer that I want to speak about is something called Kin.
Oh.
Now, it just basically came out of nowhere. I was searching on YouTube, as you do, and looking for latest trailers, and this thing popped up. So it is a sci-fi film, and it stars Dennis Quaid. And Dennis Quaid, he's one of the other big actors in this, and the other big actor is James Franco. Plays a villain in this film. It's a futuristic film about two brothers. So there's going to be a lot of kind of, looking after your brother and family. I see a lot of that going on in this trailer. A son has been away for about 15 years. He comes back and he says, look, he was away, he got caught up in stuff and he went away for prison. But somehow he has this alien technology.
Damn.
The little brother finds it. And there's a scene in the trailer where the little brother, he sees his brother getting beaten up by James Franco.
Yeah.
And then he just pulls out this futuristic...
It looks like Cable's gun, doesn't it, a bit?
You know what? Absolutely, it does. And then he's like, get away from my brother. And then, he starts shooting a few people. So it looks good, And the thing that made it kind of the icing on the cake for me was it's made by the producers of The Arrival and Stranger Things.
Yeah. So it should be all right.
It's gonna be right. It's got James Franco. He's always a good actor. Dennis Quaid. He's got these new two kids on the block. So it looks good. We'll see.
Yeah.
So that was called Kin. Now tell us about Slice.
Yeah, Slice is a weird trailer I came across. It's based in a pizza shop. It's about a pizza shop that somehow was built upon a gateway to hell. Yeah, a gateway to hell. So the good thing about this film is I saw Zazie Beetz from Deadpool from Atlanta. She's in it.
Yeah.
Also, it's distributed by the A24, who done The Witch, who done Hereditary, who have done a lot of independent like gems that have come about in the past few years. So if they're involved in it, it's going to be something that should be worth watching. I'm going to actually watch this next week.
Yeah, good.
And I'll talk about it in next week's show.
Definitely.
But I thought it was one to mention. And what was it? Yes, American Vandal is on Netflix.
What's this one?
Season 2.
Remind me again.
American Vandal is I think someone that does vandalism, isn't it?
And who's American?
Yeah, I ain't seen it. I just thought I'd let the people know. Season 2 is here, but it's meant to be a really good show.
Okay.
It got really good reviews the first season, and season 2 is premiering this coming week. So anyone that's interested in it, I'm telling you, go and watch it.
Yeah. And another kind of one that's out this week, and we're really passionate about this.
Yeah.
This is like, we're super passionate about this.
We're totally passionate about this.
And this has been going on for 8 seasons.
8 seasons.
So Deval, tell the audience, what is this?
8 seasons, yeah. Total Divas.
Season 8.
Yeah. So this is have you got any idea what this is?
I have no idea, mate.
Total Divas is it's a reality show that's a spin-off from wrestling, WWE.
Oh.
So the Divas, the female wrestlers that are in WWE, they've got a reality show that sort of follows their life. It's a bit like Kardashians and stuff, basically.
Actually, I think I do know. This has got John Cena in it.
Yeah, it's got him. He sort of cameos in it, but it's got his missus, because his missus is a twin. They're like a twin tag team, and they're both
in wrestling.
Yeah, they're twins. I think one's called Nikki and the other one's called something else, but they are identical twins, and they both wrestle. and it's got a few other characters in it.
Yeah.
And it just sort of chronicles their life in the ring and outside of the ring with their fellas as well. So it's just sort of that really. But yeah, so season 8 on Hulu this coming week.
Go check it out, ladies and gentlemen.
Heard
and divas.
that.
All right. So
now it is time for Anniversary Corner.
We've got a great selection of films, and I say great because I haven't seen some of these. So this is a section of the show where we bring you 5 films going back a while. Yeah. Now, this is a long while. I did a bit of a difference this week. Yeah, that's good. A bit of a difference. Yeah, so this is going back 50 years, all the way up to kind of 2008. So 1968, all the way up to 2008. And what's the first film on the list, Duval? The first film. Have you seen the first film? Have you heard of it? I've not seen it. I've not heard of it. Thinking, what is this guy bringing to the table this week? So it's not the Midnight Train, the Georgia. No, it's not. It's not that. This is Midnight Meat Train. Tell us about this. Midnight Meat Train. Just what a title! Stop and say it say it out loud. Midnight Meat Train. Midnight Meat Train it's got Vinnie Jones in it, right? Okay. And it's got Bradley Cooper, like two opposites. Vinnie Jones. How the hell did he get a job with Bradley Cooper? I don't know. Ever since Lock Stock, this guy's been working. He's gangster from Wimbledon Football Club. Yeah, exactly. Now he's on a train with Bradley Cooper with meat on midnight. Having meat. So so this is about Bradley Cooper's a photographer. I can't even say it. Photographer. Yeah. He takes pictures for a living. Yeah. And there's been some sort of disappearances or murders and attacks and stuff on the train in that district in the city. So he's trying to investigate what's going on. So he basically leads him to this train, which he goes on and tries to find out. I'm actually bullshitting. You look at me thinking, when am I going to say it's a joke? Yeah. So he finds this train and finds obviously Vinnie Jones is on this train and he kills people on the train. Like he just sort of butchers them. Yeah. It's a meat train. It's a madness. So what? It's a psychological kind of thriller? Yeah. Okay. So Vinnie Jones is the baddie. He's out there on this train. Wow. Literally saying, "Tickets, please." And when they take out their tickets, he chops their arms off. "Tickets, please." So it's a mad film. It's a mad film, mad premise. Probably why you ain't heard of it. Yeah. It didn't have massive release. No. I saw it years ago, like literally years ago when it first came out. Yeah. But for me, the title got me. I thought Midnight Meat Train. A guy I used to work with was talking about it. I thought, what the heck is Midnight Meat Train? Like, what is meat on the train doing at midnight? Had to watch it. Mad film. Exactly. But it's worth a watch. It's actually quite funny. Okay. It's worth a watch. And does he get caught in the end? Who, Bradley Cooper? Vinnie Jones? Yeah. Let's just say he got well done. He got well done. He got well done. He got well done, mate. Wicked. That is a wicked one. So, all right. The next one I think you have seen. I've seen it. This is Billy Bob Thornton. And... No, you're talking about Monsters Ball. Oh, no. This is I know the film we're talking about. That's a good film. Yeah. That scene, Billy Bob Thornton, Halle Berry. Yeah. That's the only part of the film I've seen. Exactly, yeah. But Aileen Voorhees, there's America's first female serial killer. And it's Charlize Theron. And she won the Oscar for it. Christina Ricci, yeah. Yeah. Oscar, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I've got to tell you, I haven't seen this. Oh, you ain't? Okay. But I do know. Yeah, you know about it. I know about it, sorry, because yes, Aileen Voorhees, she was like a serial killer. Yeah. Yeah, so she had a real messed up childhood from day one. Yeah, abuse, alcohol, physical, molested, all sorts, and started off being a prostitute. And then basically her defense was that a lot of the guys that she was killing in self-defense, because as she was prostituting, these guys were attacking her and stuff like that. So her defense was she was, killing them in self-defense, but she ended up killing about 6 or 7 people, I think. So I don't know when you can sort of start saying that's defense. Maybe 1, yeah, but 6 or 7. Like, then it starts becoming like serial. Yeah, So yeah, she was done. I think she was she
I think she may have been
The first female?
on death row. I think she may have been executed. You know,
Right,
I think
okay.
so, but she definitely was tried in court and found guilty. And yeah,
I remember I remember reading about that story in the news, so that was one thing. But then I remember when Charlize Theron, when she kind of like made this film, the transformation,
oh crazy,
the way she put on weight and everything, and like
Yeah.
you're like, what? They look so similar. Amazing.
she studied that person. She literally watched all the tapes and all sorts, and
Yeah.
she became. It's scary because she's
It is.
actually like she's a model as well.
Oh,
You see her modeling all these J'adore like perfume and
Yeah,
clothing
oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. She does modeling. She's quite tall as well and slender, and she became that. That's how you get these Oscars, man.
that's how you do it.
That's how you get these Oscars.
Yeah, but
Trust
no,
me.
yeah. So that was Monster. That was from 15 years ago. Now,
Yeah,
a film,
2003.
I have seen this film. Anyone will say this is Will Smith.
20 years, 1998.
20 years, 1998. And I'm going to just throw in something. Now, it's got Will Smith and Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman was in a film which is kind of... Enemy of the State kind of took the idea of this, the story of Enemy of the State from a Gene Hackman film from the
Okay.
70s called The Conversation. And that film was directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh,
And I tell you one thing, you got to watch Enemy of the State and The Conversation as a double bill. So
which one first?
I watch The Conversation first.
Okay.
Watch The Conversation first because you could argue that Gene Hackman's character, at the end of The Conversation, you could say, "Oh my God, what happens to Gene Hackman's character?" You see him in Enemy of the State.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's that type of kind of like a continuation. But I remember when this film came out and Will Smith was at the height of his
He
popularity.
Was, Independence Day, Bad Boys, and obviously Fresh Prince.
Yeah. And then you had Gene Hackman, who's this kind of like big, star from the 60s and 70s and 80s and whatnot. So this kind of like heavyweight, Hollywood actor. And you put these two together and, it's quite an intriguing story. And it's I want to say it's directed by Tony Scott.
You can say that. I don't know.
It kind of feels like as if it is.
Might be, probably is.
But I remember watching this film in the cinema and I was like, oh my God, yeah. And then that led me onto The Conversation, which I felt is kind of like a bit more superior. So, this thing about we're being listened to, about kind of, all the cameras and stuff like that. Well, that theme was happening in the 60s and 70s, man.
Imagine if they made a version of that film now. Can you imagine?
Well...
Because you were talking about your phone or the Google Assistant, all that kind of stuff, listening to people.
This is it. Who's listening?
So,
and I mean, imagine the stuff that you are searching in your search. Bloody hell.
Trust me.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. But I remember this Enemy of the State. God, 20 years.
Yeah.
I remember picking this up on DVD as well. So, all right.
25 years now, 1993.
And I remember this as well.
Decent Proposal. Robert Redford. I can't say his name. Robert Redford. Like a rich, genius, billionaire, playboy philanthropist. And they got Woody Harrelson, Demi Moore.
I
think they were a little bit down and out because I think they were gambling to try and win money, isn't it?
Yeah, and basically going nowhere.
Yeah, and they come across what's his name? Robert Redford's character at like a poker table. He asks, "Can I borrow your wife for luck?" And from there, he says, "Oh, can I have your wife for one night for $1 million?" And back then, $1 million today probably going to sound about maybe 2.5 million, maybe or something. I'm not sure how inflation could be more. I'm not sure, but that's a lot of money to anyone. So the question is like, the question is, would I for one foot? Okay. I'm even going to answer that question because this could bite me. This could bite me.
This
in
is
the
going to
future.
come back and bite you in the ass.
Okay, you know what? I would never do it.
Never.
I would never do it. I would never do it.
But I remember when this film came out, right? And it was like this big thing. Oh my God. Like, could you do it for $1 million? And then I remember watching the film and then at the end of it, she starts having feelings for, it totally breaks down the relationship between Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore. And then she starts going off with Robert Redford. And then in the end, she ends up with back again.
Yeah. Because
I think
Woody Harrelson didn't want her to do it, but she said, no, I'll do it for you or for us.
Yes.
So it was kind of like that. And then when she done it, it just ruined things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they got the money, but it just ruined the relationship.
Exactly. And then in the end, and then Woody Harrelson, then he becomes rich, and then he comes back onto the scene.
It's a madness. It's a great concept, though.
It is.
Because I'm sure many couples had arguments over that. Like, but when you're going there with your missus and she turns to her and says, so would you do it? I'd be like, if you don't answer straight away, like, it's over.
No delay.
No delay.
Answer straight away.
You can't even say, you can't be like, how much? Or you got to be like, no. Really, in your head, you're like, how much?
That's so true.
It's true.
It's so true.
That's called enough arguments.
I know, man.
Okay, so now I've jumped from 1993. Usually we go to 1988 and do 30 years, but this year I thought, let me go a bit further back and see what's there.
Sure.
And Rosemary's Baby. Have you seen this film?
Yeah. I've seen it once about like 20 years ago.
Yeah, this film is a classic. I saw this maybe about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby is a classic horror film.
Yeah. That
a lot of horror films today try and sort of imitate parts of.
Yeah, and we spoke about Hereditary, and there's a lot of that in there.
Yes, yeah. So Rosemary's Baby, guys, 1968. It's old school classic. This is, and it's got what's her name from Mia Farrow
and Donald. I want to say Donald Sutherland.
Nah, it's not him. It's someone else.
No, is it someone else?
Yeah, it's definitely someone else.
Okay,
but one of those old school cats, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's about possession or a cult group of people wanting to, I guess, bring in sort of the son of Satan through her pregnancy.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say if you guys haven't seen it, but it's very, very well done. Very well done. You can watch it today.
Yeah.
And time will not spoil this film.
No. And do you remember this Charlize Theron film with Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino?
Oh yeah, Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate.
Wicked film.
I love that film.
Wicked film.
I love it. And
Wicked
remember
film.
at the end, they wanted to impregnate her.
Yeah.
So that obviously, so you kind of see
Wicked
the kind of like
film.
similar kind of themes going on in there.
Yeah, wicked film.
Yeah.
Wicked. That's a good film, you know.
Yeah, I know.
That's a good film.
I thought to myself, I can't believe Keanu Reeves is in this film.
Yeah.
How's that even possible?
He does a really good job in that film.
Yeah.
And De Niro does a really, sorry, not De Niro, Pacino. Yeah. Really good film.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But you know what? Actually, I want to go back and revisit this Rosemary's Baby.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try. I think I've got it in one of my
your archives.
Yeah, in one of the archives somewhere. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like check that one out.
Yeah, you go do that. Yeah, your archives.
Oh
gosh. Man. So that's Anniversary Corner.
Anniversary Corner. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like any of those films, if you don't like any of those films, let us know. We'll have a discussion about it on the internet, which is like, what people do nowadays.
Yeah.
Right,
so,
now let's move on to
the reviews.
Now let's move on to film reviews. So we've got a couple of stuff that we want to review, but the main thing for me and I guess possibly for you as well, Deval, is let's speak about Predator.
Let's speak about the Predator.
Now, the Predator initially, so the original Predator came out in 1988, right? 1987.
Yeah.
So huge film back then. Arnold Schwarzenegger, directed by John McTiernan.
Die Hard, is it?
Absolutely. Yeah. And written by Shane Black. And that's important because this new Predator film is written and directed by Shane Black.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to go kind of spoilerific, aren't we? Or what?
Yeah, what do you reckon? Should we? I don't know.
Let's just go with the flow.
Go with it, okay.
Go with the flow. So look, 87, The Predator. Then there was one, I think 1990.
1990, Predator 2.
Predator 2, which stars Danny Glover.
Yep.
And it's about this alien who comes to Earth specifically for a hunt. So this
time is in the city because the first one's in the jungle.
The first one's in the jungle.
Next one's in the city, like LA.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so they're attracted to, I think, the heat.
Yeah.
They're attracted to kind of like,
anyone that's
noise.
got weapons, like they'll hunt people with weapons. If you ain't got weapons, then you're not. It's no fun.
There's no fun.
Yeah.
So an alien will come down. Throughout kind of history, they've been doing this.
Yeah.
And in the first film, Arnold Schwarzenegger's team, they're in the kind of Colombian. I want to say like some jungle
Nicaragua or somewhere like that. Places. It's actually filmed in Mexico.
Okay.
From what I understand, yeah.
Right. So they're in the jungle and they're kind of, they're a crack team. They've been sent in to kind of deal with some drug lord going on over there. And lo and behold, this alien from space comes down and starts picking off the team one by one.
In the best way.
It is. And I got to say to you, for a film of that era, bro, I love this film.
That film cannot get any. It's just perfect.
It is.
It came on twice this week, and I watched it twice.
I know, man. So
I recorded it as well.
Yeah,
I'm like, I need this.
Yeah, I know. And then I was so infatuated with that movie. Like, I remember having like a poster like of Arnold Schwarzenegger on my room. Yeah, man. I used to love that film. And the whole thing about an alien. What? How come? Like, where? Right. Okay. What happens next?
Yeah.
So what happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger's character?
Dutch.
We don't know. We don't know because in 1990 they then moved it over to LA, and then you had the Jamaican Yardies in there.
Yep.
So that was all brilliant. And at the end of that film, Danny Glover, he defeats the alien, the predator, and he goes on to the kind of the spaceship of the predator. And what do you see on the wall?
You see a massive collection of different skulls and artifacts from different times. You see an alien, like literally like alien. Sigourney Weaver alien skull.
Yeah.
You see human skulls. You see skulls of creatures that you can't even describe, and you see I guess trophies of like guns and weapons that the predator has collected over the years. And you see one of like a what they call musket or some sort of old school gun from like 1887 or something like that.
Exactly.
And it just goes to show that they've been doing this for years.
And I remember he throws it to Danny Glover, and then he says, "Keep it."
Yeah.
One of the aliens says, "Keep it." And what I think is, if you can defeat the predator,
they respect you. Yeah.
Like,
there's respect. Like you defeat one of our best here. You deserve respect. Go on,
off you go. You've earned your life.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think after 1990, then we had
AVP. In 2004.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was Alien versus Predator, and then we had
AVP 2 in 2007, I think.
Yep. And then after that, there was The Predators.
2010. Yeah.
Which then took the story onto the alien planet.
Another planet. They took these people, Adrian Brody and all kinds of other people, to an alien world, and then they dropped them off and hunted them.
Yeah.
That's where we saw the dogs for the first time. Yep. Lawrence Fishburne was there from a previous sort of drop. But then, I think that in that one they tried to recreate 87.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the cast were almost like a copy of, they had the Hispanic lady, they had the muscle black guy, they had Adrian Brody's no Arnold, but I don't know what he was doing there.
Exactly.
But they tried to recreate a lot of the cast.
Sure.
They had like the Hispanic kind of I think it was Danny Trejo, innit?
Yeah,
I think
that's right.
He was trying to imitate Billy, but Billy's a gangster. I love Billy.
That guy, man.
Billy. He says a few things, but what he says, you better pay attention. Exactly. Even in Predator 1, when he said, what happened? They were all standing there after like a few of them had died. They were all standing there, and then I think it's Poncho who can speak Spanish. He said, Billy, what's going on out there? And he's like, he said, no. He says, Billy, you ain't afraid of nothing. He's like, something's out there to get us, and it ain't no man. And then,
it's so true.
And then as he walks, as he takes 2 steps, he looks back and says, we're all gonna die. And then he walks off.
And that's it, man. That's
calm.
Imagine that in your team, someone turns around and says that.
One of the toughest guys that ain't scared of shit.
And the guy says, Billy, you ain't afraid of no man. Like, you know.
It ain't no man.
Exactly. I love that. And then I think now what we've got is, now those films, they did have their charm and there were some really good, some good bits in them. But on the whole, I don't think they could recreate the magic of 87.
No. They probably had some of 87 if you add it all together.
Sure.
And, lay it out the right way. But 87 was just perfect. It was just a special collection of people.
Yeah. A
special location. The graphics weren't all that, but I prefer it being a sort of old school like that.
Yeah.
We'll touch on that with the new one. But
sure.
Yeah, I think, that's what I reckon. Right. I think the first one was the best.
Sure. So now fast forward to 2018, Shane Black. And I remember reading about this like a year ago or whatever, that this was going to go into production. And I thought, wow, it's the writer from the first one. So hopefully we're going to see something new. And
he was in the first one as well, remember?
He was in the first one. And you'll know Shane Black, and our audience will know Shane Black because he directed films like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He directed
Lethal Weapon.
He wrote Lethal Weapon.
Iron Man 3.
And he wrote and directed Iron Man 3.
Yep.
Which you weren't like a big fan of.
I didn't like at all.
Yeah. So
And you done that film with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe.
The Good Guys.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, you done that one as well.
That one, yeah. So that was quite good. And so fast forward now to 2018, we've got a new Predator.
The way it's already started, they already know that there's an alien. They know, because at the beginning of the film, I think they talk about how there was an incident in 87.
Yeah.
In 19... but then they went from 87 to 1997. And I was like, what happened in 97? Nothing happened. So unless there's something that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Because they said 87, 1990, and then 1997. And I thought, what? That threw me off. So unless there's something that we don't know about,
sure,
who knows? But yeah, so they know about this. They've got evidence of it. They want to, obviously, as they always do, the government wants to capture it and understand it, study it, recreate it. They want all the weapons for themselves, don't they? So it starts off like that. I think John Sterling, what's his name?
Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling K. Brown, got his name totally wrong way around, but yeah. So
he's kind of like the guy in charge of capturing.
He's by any means necessary. He's a bit of a donut, but
yeah. So whatever the government needs to do, he's in charge of it, and he needs to capture, and he wants to capture it
exactly.
And so we've got this new character who is like a captain in the special forces. Boyd, I can't remember what his
Aidan Boyd or something like that. He's
Aidan Boyd.
Yeah, he was in Narcos and Logan.
That's it.
Yeah,
and so he's on a mission.
He's like a top sniper, isn't he?
Yeah. So he's on a mission. He's in the jungle, and we know that he is waiting to take a few people out.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, out of the sky,
a Predator spaceship crashes in the jungle. Do you know what? Actually, step back a couple of seconds. Like the way the Predator technology was on another level.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, but when it was flying through space, it created black holes.
A black hole.
I was like, what?
How are they able to do that?
How are they creating these black holes just from shooting a little? That's crazy. So it was another galaxy. It turned up on Earth. It got shot, landed on the planet. And it was just madness. So from there, he somehow came in contact with it, and when he got that invisible pill, which he swallowed,
by the way, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
So Boyd, he's in the thick of it. He's got the mask of the alien, and he's like straight away. Yeah. He's clever. He's thinking to himself, you know what?
Yeah.
People are going to be on me on this. He's going to send it, and this is a important plot point. He sends it to his home.
But if he sent it to a post box, because I thought, you dickhead, why are you sending it to your house for? But he sent it to a post box and it somehow ended up at his house.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, and then he gets captured because obviously Sterling K. Brown, he wants to find out.
Yeah.
You know, what did you see? What it was? And at that point I thought to myself, okay, so now the alien, he's in kind of like our world. And he's going to go on like a rampage, and he's going to start killing things and blah, blah, blah. And then there's going to be this chase. But crucially, that's not what happens. And the twist in this one is that the predator that we see at the beginning is being chased by another predator.
Because I think this predator's gone rogue or something, in it. So the other predator's like a bounty predator hunter.
Yeah.
And he's 11 foot.
When I saw this
CGI. I don't like the CGI.
See, you mentioned it. I know.
I like it. I like the old Predator, just standard. But the CGI one was too much.
It was too much, and I just
kind of too powerful as well. There's no chance.
It took when I saw the CGI, I was just like, "Come on, man! This is 2018.
It was too much.
Like, where did they spend that money?"
Predator should just be humanoid, just practical.
Exactly. So we've got kind of like the Predator, which we've all kind of seen from obviously the first couple of films, and then we've got this new Predator, 11 feet tall, who is, we're told in the movie, a combination of all, like it's modified. It's a modified Predator, basically.
All the strongest Predators they just made up.
Exactly. So now we want to figure out, right, okay, why is this new modified Predator chasing this other old Predator? And it turns out that the old Predator has something, and he's on a mission himself. So he gets captured, right? They don't show how he got captured, right? I don't remember it.
No, they didn't show that. They already had him somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, whether or not this is a spoiler or not, well, actually, it probably is. He's actually a good Predator.
Yeah.
Because he's come to Earth to give us something that will help us, that will help protect humans against the other predators.
Okay, yeah.
And crucially, and I thought this was quite interesting, when they did the DNA sample of this of this predator that they captured, it had human DNA.
What's that about?
So now, my question to you is, Deval, is there something from the other films, there's got to be a connection?
Oh, AVP. You know when the first one,
right?
When Predator and the girl were like running around together. Remember the first one when I don't know, it was like the, oh damn, I can't, but they were like they went to the underground place or whatever.
Yeah.
And once they found the Predator, I think Predator and that lady,
did they mixed or something?
They must have banged, didn't it? Predator was like, she's hot, man. Yeah. I would have been on her as well. But they were running around together, like tag team, remember? Fighting against aliens. Right. I reckon they had a little, sexual predator moment.
Who knows?
Yeah, I reckon they banged.
Because this predator is like got human DNA. Yeah. So it's not all predator, not all alien. Yeah.
Or maybe maybe they are an evolution of us in the future, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, that was. I think that's going to be. They got to tell us more in the future. They've got
to explore that one, right? So, and then we've got to figure out, why has this predator gone rogue? Like, why is this one helping us compared to all the other ones? We don't know, but I mean, okay, fine. So then I think this is when the story kind of just starts unfolding. So we've got this predator, who's trying to deliver this thing to us, and then this new predator comes along, who's 11 feet tall. He's kind of genetically modified and starts killing people. There's loads of kind of action set pieces in there. And
Predator's got so many gadgets, man. I love Predator's gadgets. The gun on his shoulder, the things he shoots out, the invisible thing.
Oh, wicked.
It's just the gadgets are wicked.
As a character, I think to myself, I love this alien. This is what made me fall in love with the character from 87, right? Yeah. So we've got a new bunch of ragtag, like a new crew. Yeah. So we've got people like Thomas Jane.
He's the Punisher, man. He's the Punisher. They had the Punisher on their crew. But he was like a messed up Punisher.
He was a messed up Punisher. And I don't know why they felt the need that they had to give him Tourette's.
Comedic. That's what it is. Because him and the other guy, the tall guy, the light-skinned guy. Yeah. Them two were the comedy, like a comedy duo kind of tag team.
And I've got to tell you, they were funny.
Yeah, they were.
They were genuinely. There were some bits in there which I laughed out loud. But having said all that, with the big explosions, the kind of comedy elements, for me, something definitely was missing. Okay. The CGI was kind of like a bit of an issue for me, because I was like, come on, man, the new alien and the dogs. I know we've seen the dogs before, but did they need to be there? Okay. And then what happened to the dog at the end?
One of the dogs turned friendly. Like it just somehow
gets shot in the head and then becomes like their friend. So personally, I mean, I thought it was kind of it had some of the charm of kind of the old ones. Yeah. If you're looking for a film which is obviously got a predator in it, then you're gonna love it. Go out and watch it. But I mean, I'd say it kind of lost the ball a bit for me. But I know you had a different experience.
I really liked it. I went in there and I think my expectations were like, okay, this is gonna be shit. Yeah. Because I don't trust Shane Black. Yeah. So I thought this is gonna be shit. Went in there, I actually found it was quite fun, and it didn't take itself too seriously. The music from the first one was in it. Yep. I appreciated that.
Yes, me too.
The music from the first one was in it. There were a lot of proper callbacks from the first one. Get to the chopper and a few things that happened in the first one. Even the Predator's gun that sort of shoots off his shoulder. For some reason, anytime it hits something, you get sparks. That's from the first one. Yeah, it still happens in this one. I don't know why you're getting sparks, but all those things they sort of copied from the first one, which I appreciated. The crew kind of tried to copy the first one. So you had obviously Dutch, who was Boyd in this one, not as much muscle, but here's what it is. You had the black guy that looked like 50 Cent. Yeah, he was kind of like the Dylan in it, or the other guy that's like, I'm going to have me some fun. 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 And then you had the comedy guys a bit in it. Yeah. And what's his name? what's his name?
Theon
Greyjoy, wasn't it? He was a weird one. He had an Irish accent.
Irish
in this
accent.
One, didn't
He played that Irish. Yeah.
Something happened to him in it that happened to someone in the first one, which was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Which was cool again. Then you had the sort of Latina kind of lady who was Olivia Munn in this one.
Yes.
So she but she was obviously a different character because she was a doctor or something.
Yeah,
she's like a specialist.
She's a specialist in these species.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they tried to sort of a little bit copy the first crew, which is kind of fun. But yeah, the only thing for me, I mean, like I say, it was fun.
Yeah.
I'll give it, if I was to mark it, I'd give it like a 7.5, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
7, because I just found it fun. I was laughing from the start to the end,
Yeah.
even when, I'm not going to spoil this, but even right at the end, when a certain thing popped out and I was like, what the heck is that? And then they were like, he was like, I hope you got that in 42L. I was like, that was wicked. Or he said, I want one of those suits. You better have it in a 42L. I was like, that's 80s, man. That's my size too. I want one. I was like, shit, that was just funny. I really appreciated it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't like the CGI of the big Predator.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all. That Predator was just stupid big, stupid overpowered. Like really and truly, no one should have had a chance.
No one should have survived.
No one should have had a chance. But obviously, people always do. But yeah, the normal Predator, I like that one.
Yes.
He had texture. He looked alien. You know, it just works better.
Yeah.
And it gave them a bit of a chance as well. But yeah, I mean, I did like it though. I enjoyed it.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to the sequel.
Yeah,
I really am.
Yeah, I mean, I think depending on let's see how kind of like successful this is. If this is really successful, then definitely they'll make one.
You know, the reshoots. This film was supposed to be out in February 2018.
So that was like
at
the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so it's been out 7 months later. The reshoots, they had to do reshoots because the third act in the film, they wanted it to be more sort of nighttime. Because I think originally they shot a lot of it. So this is like I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's a scene where the new Predator, it sort of comes to their facility and starts messing shit up. But originally that was filmed in daytime. So a lot of it was filmed daytime, and Shane Black said it didn't really look right.
Right, okay.
So they filmed quite a lot of things in nighttime instead to make it look a bit more ominous and make the Predator seem more dangerous.
Which I think is probably better, right?
Yeah, and they filmed a few other things as well while they were doing it. But a lot of reshoots happened on this to make the film better. So I'm just thinking, what did it look like before? So I'm hoping they learned that lesson, and the next one that comes out, it will just be more smooth. But also there was that controversy about Shane Black, who hired his friend.
Yes.
His friend who's a registered sex offender.
Yes.
There was a scene where he was coming on to Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
Making advances to her.
Yeah.
And that was cut out of the film.
That was cut out of the film,
they somehow found out he's a registered sex offender.
How they found out, I don't know.
I don't know how they found out, but they found out she wasn't happy about it. And also a lot of the cast at first weren't backing her. So they failed to do some press interviews with her.
Right.
She ended up doing press interviews by herself a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird. But then Boyd sort of on social media got her. He backed her.
Yeah.
Sterling backed her.
Sterling said something. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a bit of a palaver, and I think it's probably caused a bit of bad blood between the cast.
Sure.
Shane Black. So I mean, I without being too judgmental, I don't know what the sex offender has done. I don't know what the story is, but that's what we're hearing. So who knows? But yeah, so that's the controversy behind the scenes. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And also, I mean, I hate to say this, but I mean, like if you're a film director or if you're film producers and stuff, and do you want to have like someone in your film who's creating this kind of like, negative stuff around, and then could there be a chance where they might not rehire her for the next one?
It could happen.
Yeah.
If it's down to him, and if there's bad blood, they can get someone else.
Yeah.
But
because remember that happened with Megan Fox.
Yeah. Transformers. Yeah, she had beef with Michael Bay, and
she said a couple of things, and
But then he worked with her in Transformers afterwards.
Okay.
I guess he wasn't directing there, but beef can happen, and they can get someone else.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
You know.
So yeah. So I mean, you give it a
I'll
good
give it a good 7.5. I don't think I'll give it 8, but I the thing is, I enjoyed this film.
Yeah.
And sometimes you go to the cinema, it doesn't always have to be that deep. It doesn't always have to get you emotionally, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed it. I'll tell other people to go and watch it.
Sure.
I'll tell them, don't expect much, just sit there and enjoy it, and you'll be okay. I'd watch it again.
Yeah.
As well, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, I like I said before. I mean, yeah, I was probably expecting a bit more out of it, and only because I'm like a huge fan of the whole franchise, and you know, especially number 1 and number 2. But there were just things in it which I did laugh out loud on some of the things.
Yeah.
Like for example, I loved the whole thing about, you know, in the first film when Arnold Schwarzenegger, he looks at the alien and he goes, "You are one ugly motherfucker." And then in this one, they flip it around where Olivia Munn's character turns around and says, "You are one beautiful MF." Yeah. So it's just kind of those things like that.
She appreciates the science of the alien, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, those things were quite clever.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think that was enough for me.
Okay.
All right. So ladies and gentlemen, that was Predator. Please go out and watch it. Tell us what you think. You know, give us, you know, you don't have to agree with us. Of course not. I mean, this is a film show. It's your film show. So tell us what you think about it. So what's next up, Deval?
Next up is Iron Fist. We're going to sort of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Not spoil it too much, but I know last week we spoke about it because I think I was four episodes in.
Yeah.
I think you just started it, but I finished it now. I know you've got 1 episode left, haven't you?
I've got 1 episode left.
So I won't spoil it for you, but I will say overall, I think it was an improvement over the first one. The first one was rushed. The first one, fight scenes were not all that. Iron Fist didn't really convince me in the last one.
Nope.
It was a bit too long in places. It was 13 episodes. Now it's 10. They've condensed it. So for me, if I was to sort of glean over the second one, I'll say the fight scenes are better. They've got the fight choreographer from Black Panther, Creed, also a bunch of other films that are successful.
Right.
That this fight choreographer has been brought in just to sort of clean up.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a lot of more. The fights seem a bit more Krav Maga-ish, a bit more action, a bit more grappling, a bit more, you know, in your face kind of karate.
Yeah. And
it's more convincing for me. And also the story is a bit more dynamic. You got, I guess, you got Iron Fist story. You've got Colleen. Also got a guest. I'm not going to spoil it, but you got a guest from the Marvel sort of universe, the Marvel Netflix universe, coming into it to assist, which is always good. And it's just a bit more dynamic, I think, this season.
Definitely.
But also, I think for me, one of the standouts is Colleen. I like Colleen in this. For me, her fighting, her conviction, her story, for me, really convinced me. And I liked her a lot. She was really good in this one.
And that's what makes this kind of season for me like really good. It's the people around the Iron Fist. So it's the people around Danny Rand, and like you said, her character arc I think is brilliant. And I can kind of guess where it's kind of going. But for me, one thing that I did want to mention, you know, like last week we were mentioning about Davos. I found him quite annoying.
Yeah,
I found him quite irritating. And then what happened was, I was watching like, you know, some of the episodes, and then I realized like what his motivation is, because then you learn a bit more about his backstory, about how he was treated.
Yeah, the mum like Cersei, innit?
Exactly. And then I thought to myself, okay, so look, you know, there's some layers to this character. He's still annoying. Don't get me wrong. He is very annoying. But what happened was, the show then gives you a bit more, right? So the reason why he is feeling like this is because, you know, he's got some unsaid stuff with his parents, right? So he's hurting, right?
That's why he always sounds so moany, innit? He sounds like a moaning punk teenager.
You know what? Number one, you never see him smile in this. Like there's nothing. But what I thought to myself was, okay, what I needed in the first few episodes, which I didn't get, was, right, okay, what is his motivation? Why is he doing this? And then I think as you watch like episodes 5, 6, and 7, you then get to kind of see what his motivations are, and you see that he's actually hurting inside because his parents, they treated him like shit. He never really got to say goodbye to his mum. And, you know, it was just kind of all this stuff that was unsaid. So he's really hurting. But going back to the fight scenes, there's one fight scene with Colleen, she has with.
Was it in the kitchen by any chance? The kitchen fight scene.
There was a kitchen fight scene, but there was one. There was one just like I was just.
Is it later on in the series?
It's later on in the series, and I thought to myself, "This is good."
Yeah.
She has a fight with the guy with the eye patch.
Oh yes, yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I thought, this is
because he's a good fighter.
Exactly.
He's a good fighter, and she can still hold her own.
So I thought to myself, you know what? The fight scenes are much more polished.
Yeah.
And isn't it weird that you don't see like Iron Fist fighting that much?
Yeah, I don't think he can do it that much. You know, he's not as good. Maybe.
But I'm just thinking, like, you know, surely with the money and they can really train him up, and he could get good.
Colleen Wing's just she's winging it and she's doing it.
Yeah, man. She really is.
She just looks the part. I think she's just more fluid in that, you know.
Yeah.
So I like her.
Yeah. So on the whole, a big improvement, right? Would you agree?
Big improvement, yeah. And I definitely enjoyed it more. I definitely recommend watching this one, and it will tie in to the rest as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. So then what I was just going to finally, what I just wanted to say was, at the end of Iron Fist, is there any connection to, do we know anything about Daredevil? Because obviously the next up is going to be Daredevil that we're going to see in a couple of months' time.
I'll say no, right, but okay. The way Iron Fist sort of ends, there's a whole lot more story to tell, and things do get interesting.
So will there be a season 3?
For sure.
Okay,
for sure. And yeah, it's just things are going to get interesting.
All right.
The way they use their powers going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
All right.
The way they use their powers going forward is, when it finished, I was like, oh damn, I want to see more.
Okay, good. Yeah. Oh well, that's a good thing then.
Yeah.
So they at least they leave it on us wanting more.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. So, in a good way.
Good. That's a good thing. All right.
Cool.
What else?
So yeah, next I'm gonna review Mandy.
Yeah.
So Mandy came up in the trailer about maybe 3 weeks ago.
Sure.
I mentioned Mandy. It's a new film starring Nicolas Cage and Andrea Roseborough. She's a British actress from Newcastle. And it's a crazy film. When I first saw the trailer, I thought this looks like Mad Max. It looks like I don't know, Hereditary. It looks like It looks like it looks crazy.
Yeah.
All I saw in this film was blood. I saw chainsaws. I saw axes. I saw darkness. I saw fires. I saw just craziness in this trailer, and the film was no different.
Really?
Yeah. So the film's about Nicolas Cage's character and his missus, Andrea Roseborough, Rainsborough. I'll just call her Andrea from now on.
Yeah.
And they're all loved up and stuff, and it talks about how, okay, so that's them. They're all loved up, and there's it's in America. It's some sort of sleepy town where it's just lots of forests and stuff like that. And there's another group of people that are like these cult people.
Okay.
They're a crazy cult, literally. And one of them gets the idea that Andrea she's like something that they need. So they need her to perform some sort of ritual.
Right.
Because she has something that she's got some sort of purity, or they just saw her one day and thought, yeah, we need her, sort of thing. So you got to capture her. And once they get their hands on her, the film just twists. Because up until then, the film's weird. It's kind of like, it's a bit psychedelic. The music is all kind of old school, trippy kind of music. It's mad.
Okay.
And the visuals, I'm telling you, man, the visuals, it's all kind of like misty, red, deep kind of imagery. Things are out of focus sometimes, come into focus. It's almost like you're on some sort of drug watching the film.
Okay. So is it made in a way to disorientate us?
Yes, in a way it is. And to make you not comfortable. Because the whole time I watched it, I was like, what is going on? The way they're talking, just nothing's bright in the film at all. It's just a weird looking film, but it really lends to the story.
Okay.
It really lends to it. The director's a Greek guy, I can't remember his name, but he's done a few independent films.
Sure.
One thing about this film that I think is really important to mention, that I think really was the icing on the cake of this film.
Yeah.
The person that was responsible for the score was it's a person called Jonas Johansson.
I think
Arrival.
Yeah.
Sicario.
Right.
Prisoners. All films by Denis Villeneuve.
Okay.
So you know Denis Villeneuve, you know all those gangster films he makes, Arrival, Sicario.
Sure.
Arrival, remember what the score was like in Arrival? It's proper like droney kind of synthesized kind of thing.
Yeah.
This film has got this person making a score.
Okay.
And the music and the sounds, wicked.
All right. Wow.
Wicked. It makes it just amps the film up to another level.
And it's such an underrated a part of a movie. It's like the sound.
If you try and mute a movie and see how you're detached straight away.
Exactly.
Especially a horror film, you mute it, you're not even scared anymore.
So you clearly you would say this is a horror film, right?
It's a horror film, horror stroke action. It's stroke drama. It's crazy, but the person that Jonas Johansson, when I say was, passed away. He
passed away.
Yeah. February.
That's crazy, man.
So like all the Denis Villeneuve films that are going to happen in the future, he's not going to be a part of. He's the one that created that feel of all those films. So that's a massive loss, you know.
Sound engineering, it's like such a massive thing in films, man.
But that for the film, it was just perfect. The sound, and the imagery together.
Yeah.
The acting was like the third thing for me in this film.
Okay, wow.
Acting was third. They all did a great job acting, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But for me, the acting was the third character.
And would you say, like, for example, seeing Nicolas Cage in this type of film, is it strange?
He done a good job, man. He went crazy in this film.
Oh,
he went
so
crazy.
His wife gets taken, I'm assuming, and then he's got to try and get her back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's like the blood in this film, man. There's chainsaws. He makes this crazy axe. He's just... And also in this film is, I'm going to have me some fun. I'm going to have me some fun. Bill Duke, the one in Predator, he's in this film. He helps Nicolas Cage with some weapons.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
He's in this film as well. He's got a small part, but he's in it. But yeah, this film, it gets bloody. There's a point where it's just like trippy and a bit of a sort of, not romance, but just the couples doing their thing, you know.
Yeah.
And then you see those sort of, the other sort of cult people in the background, and you get bits of them.
Right.
Even they're quite trippy. Their scenes are. It's something. I literally tell you, some of it's out of focus, and you'll be seeing one person speaking to the camera, and that face will change into the other person's face.
Oh.
Rather than the camera change like scene, rather than like you're talking.
Yeah.
Say you're talking to me. Usually you're talking to me. You'll see you talking. It will cut to me looking at you.
Yeah.
Then cuts back to you talking.
Sure.
No, they'll have you talking. They'll have my face morph into your face and then morph back. It's just some weirdness, man, but it works. It's a weird film.
Wow. So I've got to check this out.
It's got 7.5 on IMDb or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is quite high for horror films. They don't get much higher ratings, but this is a weird film and it needs to be seen. And
it's interesting to see Nicolas Cage in this type of film.
He does well. He does well. And he goes crazy. He goes crazy in this. He goes crazy and does a good job. Yeah. It's it's mad. And the way it ends as well, again, it's just mad.
So when you say end, like as in there's a conclusion to the whole thing, or it's left open?
There is a conclusion to this.
All right, okay.
But it's a mad conclusion. It's just all mad. It's a mad film.
Wicked.
It's a mad film. You
Sounds
probably won't see it on the box office doing really well. Probably not. But some of the best films don't.
Exactly. It'll turn into a cult classic.
Exactly. But yeah, I probably give this film 7.5 again.
Okay, that's good.
7.5, I reckon.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting actually. Good
film. Mandy. Just that's her name in the film, Mandy.
Yeah.
Just a straight up name. Also, all the art, what is it called? The art. The art. So like all the fonts and someone in the film, you see a lot of art as well in it.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, it looks quite demonic actually, but it's beautiful.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna check this film out, man.
If you guys wanna, it's out in general release in the cinema in October.
Right. Okay. So it'll be coming out.
Yeah, it'll be coming out. But I got to see it obviously early because I've got access to my sources.
Yep.
So I got an early preview. So there you go.
There you go. Only on the Flixters, ladies and gentlemen.
Only on the Flixters.
So please go out and check it out. Hunt that film out. It'll be out soon. So go and have a look, and obviously when it's out, I'll go see it as well. All right, so now let us move on to hidden gems. And
you've got a few hidden gems here, innit? So you've got a garden now, yeah?
I'm kind of like, growing my, because you've been obviously been growing your hidden gem garden for a while now, but I thought, let me just kind of like, throw a few in there. So what I've done is I've gone back a bit. So I've gone back to 1999 to start off with, and there's a bit of a theme. There's a theme running through these films. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mention a film which at the time, it came out in 1999, and it's directed by David Russell, who then went on to make, do you remember The Fighter?
Oh, with, what's his name? Bane and Edgerton, with the like brothers, cage fighters. Is that the one?
No, sorry, the one with Christian Bale.
Bale. Oh, okay. Is he a cage fighter in it as well? Or
no,
not?
the boxer. The boxer.
Okay.
Oh,
I've not seen it.
Yeah, no, it's called The Fighter, but Mark Wahlberg is a boxer.
Oh, okay. I've not seen it. Okay.
Right. So I think this film kind of put him on the map in so many different ways. So, and do you remember the Silver Lining Playbook?
Playbook, yeah.
Do you remember that
as
film?
well?
He went on to direct that.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah.
So so this film that I've chosen for the hidden gems is called Three Kings. It stars George Clooney, Ice Cube, and Mark Wahlberg. And when I saw this film in cinema, it was like nothing that I had ever seen. And it blew my mind away. And I'll tell you the reason why. There's so many things in this film, right? Number one, George Clooney was just coming off the back of ER. Right? He was coming off the back of ER. Yeah. So he was a big star, but he hadn't made it like Ocean's 11, like type of stardom just yet. So he was still getting there. And Mark Wahlberg, again, he had made like...
Boogie Nights, innit?
Boogie Nights and stuff like that. So they were at this kind of phase in their careers where they're making it. So it's set at the end of the Iraq War. It's set in 92, 93. Saddam Hussein, he's basically been defeated. His army's like basically on the way out. And Americans, they are slowly, getting their the bases put away, and they're going back. George Clooney's character, he's basically bored. He's bored, and he's like he's questioning his superiors. He's like, what the hell did we do in Iraq? We were here for 100 days, and what have we done? This war was just bullshit. And he's always having this kind of like constant argument with the superiors, and they're like, hey, listen, his name's Archie. They're like, Archie, shut up, just do your job, and we're going to be sending you a journalist. We want you to answer her questions and just make it look like as if, the war, we won it, and end of story. Okay, fine, fair enough. Then what happens is on a routine kind of stop and search party, they stop some Iraqis, and they tell them to strip their clothes, and out of the arse of one of the Iraqis is a map.
Oh,
right?
Grenade.
Out of the, so it's quite comedy. It's comedic as well, this film. So out of the arse is this map, and the person who finds the map is Spike Jonze. Have you heard of this film director called Spike Jonze?
I think so, yeah.
He directed Her, I think. And
okay, yeah.
He's like another film director. So they find this map, and he takes it to his kind of his mate and like superior, which is Mark Wahlberg, and his superior is Ice Cube, and then Ice Cube's superior is George Clooney.
Okay.
So they find this map. This map leads to Saddam Hussein's treasure. Yes, and you are talking about millions and millions of pounds worth of like whatever gold, like you name it, it's all there. So what did the three decide to do? Ice Cube, George Clooney, and Mark Wahlberg. They decide to go and get Saddam Hussein's treasure, and from that point onwards, it is wicked, mate. It's such a rip-roaring journey on the people that they meet, the fight scenes that they have with other people. Things mess up. Mark Wahlberg, he gets captured, and then they got to go back, and then they got to go get him. And, and it's also this kind of this idea about, listen, you go to war and you want something out of it. And what do you get out of it?
Yeah.
And for some people, you get a flipping amputated leg. You get, shell shock. You get PTSD.
Yeah.
So George Clooney's idea of this is like, you know what? Fuck 'em. you know what, we fought for the American army, we're going to take something back ourselves. And you could say it's almost like, you know, similar to what happens. I don't know if you remember this film called Kelly's Heroes.
Mm-mm.
You know, finding the Nazi gold, and they try and steal the Nazi gold. So this is that type of kind of similar thing. But mate, watch it for, it's funny. Watch it for the action scenes. Watch it because it's quite dramatic as well. There's a scene in there between Mark Wahlberg and a person, you know, his torturer. So they torture Mark Wahlberg.
Oof.
And, you know, they make it funny. Something that is supposed to be kind of like really serious, they make it a bit kind of like comedic. But underneath all that, there is this dark tone. And you think, shit, man, like, you know, this shit's real. This war is still going on. So, yeah. So
that's why they call them kings, because they want the king's treasure kind of thing, yeah?
The three kings, exactly.
Well, they're like got gold, frankincense, and myrrh
or something like that, exactly.
Okay.
All right, so that was my first hidden gem. Now, my second hidden gem is about another king, about King Arthur.
A regal theme here.
Exactly. And this is a film made in 1983, and it's called Excalibur. And this is the story of King Arthur and the Sword in the Stone. And you know the story, right? You know, only the heir to the throne can pull out the sword in the stone. So it's set in the 80s. Now, specifically, this film is different because it's got like back in the time, it's quite controversial. It had a big rape scene in there.
Okay.
Right. And that was like pretty bad. And people were like, oh my God, like you can't show this sort of stuff. And it's got Helen Mirren in it. She plays kind of like a sorceress. It's got Merlin in there as well. So you got all these kind of like the legends of the Arthur, you know, the Arthurian legends. And I just thought, you know what, back in the day, I remember watching this, like I was way too young to watch this film, way too young. And then I watched it again, like say 10 or 15 years later. And it still kind of had that nostalgia feel for me. Okay. So, you know, it's got the fight scenes.
Has it got actual magic and stuff?
It's got magic in it. Okay. It has, and it's got the Knights of the Round Table in there, and then you learn about kind of, you know, the director's vision of what it would have been like in those days, what he thinks, and not like, you know, what was the guy? Was there a Guy Ritchie one? Yeah,
well, King Arthur. Or it was called Arthur or something.
It was called Arthur.
Yeah, or something like that.
Like, forget about that one.
Yeah.
And even before that, there was another one with Keira Knightley.
I don't know about that one.
If you want to watch like a version of the King Arthur legend, and I'm not talking about animation and stuff, watch this one. It's called Excalibur. It's made in 1983, and you learn a bit about the King Arthur legend.
Okay.
All right. So then after that, I wanted to add in another king. This is Stephen King this time.
Yeah. you?
Stephen King wrote this film, or he wrote the book, should I say, and it's called The Dead Zone. And it's about a guy played by Christopher Walken. And you'll remember Christopher Walken from, he's been around
all
for
sorts,
all sorts, right? And what happens is he has an accident and then has the ability to see the future.
Oh.
And what he sees ain't really nice.
Oh, is it?
So you've got Martin Sheen.
Okay.
Who is
Charlie Sheen's
dad, and you've seen him in loads of
all
films
sorts,
like West Wing, and like, you know, he's been in like loads of stuff. He plays a presidential candidate, and Christopher Walken, he has these visions, these nightmarish visions. People are going to die. There's going to be accidents, and you know he can possibly save them. And then one day, the presidential Martin Sheen's character and Christopher Walken's character, they happen to meet, and he touches his hand, and he sees a vision. And that vision ain't too good. And then from that point onwards, Christopher Walken has to do whatever he can to stop Martin Sheen from becoming the president. Because what he's seen ain't too good. I tell you what, mate, when this film came out, I remember watching it, I was flipping shit scared. Christopher Walken's face, he's scary as fuck. Like, you know, you see him, right? And the fact that he has all these visions and the fact that he kind of can see what's going to happen, it kind of freaked me out. It's like, damn it, shit, can this stuff sort of happen? It's like, imagine if you had the vision and you saw that Trump was going to come president.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, what the hell? That would freak you out,
I
right?
just watched Simpsons from like 1990 something.
Exactly. So you know, a lot of people say, oh, Stephen King films, they don't do really well. Like the Dark Tower. That was most recent. That didn't do well. On the other hand, you have It, which did do really well. This is probably one of the high points of a Stephen King novel.
But I definitely want to watch it now. Yeah,
watch it, mate, because, you know, sometimes you think, so, wow, yeah, you got the vision to see the future, but what if your visions don't show you the nice stuff?
And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's
and then now you've got a moral duty that do you stop it or do you just let it go ahead and, like, you know, whatever. So it's a really good story. So those are my hidden gems, and they've all got kings.
They have. Okay, Ray.
All right, Ray. So
okay, nice one. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And that's it for this week.
That is it for this week, episode 17.
Please download the show.
Yes, it's been full of interesting facts, I think, today.
Yes.
Interesting news, and topped off with some great gems.
And any special things that we can do for our listeners?
No, not to joking. Yes, as usual, we would like to give our listeners a chance to win free cinema tickets for a movie of their choice, only in the UK for now, I'm afraid. So all we ask is that you're a subscriber and you comment, or just tell us a like, or tell us a recommendation of a film, and just be sure to put in there 17 within your comment, and I'll send you across that code so you can watch a film. And that will be that.
Brilliant. Thanks to Val.
Thank you.
See you soon.
See you next week. Peace out.